Hello guys, MonkeyBot here, and we're back developing Immortal Empiers to see where it could end up within a few years of its life cycle. Last episode we finished off with Lustria, which was a really nice development. It's really now starting to fill out there. Previous episodes we've already done the Darklands and the Mountains of Morn, and then the first episode was Cathey. So if you have missed those episodes, go back and check those out and see what legendary lords are attached to the banners that you can see on screen now. But today I'm grouping a few continents together within the old world. So we're going to be doing Bretonnia, the Empire, and Norsca. I'm going to put it all in one video because they are already quite full as it is, but there are still a couple of legendary lords that I think will be joining us in the future at some point, and I think they'll fit in quite nicely. So I've just grouped them all together into one video rather than saying two legendary lords for the Empire and one legendary lord for Bretonnia. Put them all together, get it out of the way. So we're going to get straight into it now with the first legendary lord, which I think is going to be quite an obvious one. So I'm just going to get it out of the way, and that's going to be Boros Todbringer. So Boros Todbringer, we've already established that he is going to be joining the Empire at some point. He will have his day, and he will definitely be starting in Midland. I don't think there's any question about that. I don't even think there's much to say about this. He's going to be starting in Midland at some point in the future whenever we do get him. But when he is eventually added, I do think that Khazrak will need to be moved slightly, so I'm just going to move him slightly northwest, putting him up against the Greenskins at Wrecker's Point. The main reason for this is just to give Boros a little bit more space, so he's not being attacked on turn 2 by a legendary lord. Just gives Khazrak and Boros a little bit more breathing room away from each other. Khazrak can then go down and fight Marienburg before either taking a war with Karlfrand or Boros. I don't think we're going to be getting a Marienburg legendary lord at some point in the future. I just don't see it happening. It's just a very weird settlement with lots of different races and factions, kind of a little bit like Dogs of War kind of faction, except there's not really a proper leader or that I can see running this faction. So moving on to the next legendary lord, which I think will be Elspeth von Draken. I know that I've already given her a start location in the Mountains of Morn, but I think she will be having a dual start location in Nuln also. I do think the AI version, very similar to Yuan Bo, Elspeth will likely be starting in her alternative start location in the Mountains of Morn rather than in Nuln. But I feel like I've spoken about Elspeth quite a lot on this channel recently, so I'm going to move swiftly on to the next legendary lord, which I think will be the last Empire legendary lord that we're going to be getting, which will be Valmir von Rukov, the Elector Count of Ostland. Now, I think we do need another Empire DLC after Thrones of Decay because we need something to introduce the Ulrich side of the Empire. And I know Boros Todbringer is like the top of the Ulrich side of the Empire, but if we are forced to pay for Boros Todbringer, then I think there will be a massive outcry in the community and there will be like another rebellion, just like there was with Shadows of Change. So we need another character to have as that Ulrich standpoint for the DLC. And I think Valmir would be a great representation of this. There isn't a huge amount of lore on him, but what we do know is that he is the front line of defense against Chaos, very similar to how Kislev is. He is well known for fighting many hordes of Chaos from the Chaos Waste and Norsca. He also gets rebellious Kislevite factions that come in and start fighting him. He deals with trolls, he deals with ogres, he deals with all of it. And he is a nice hybrid character. He is a very melee focused character, but he also has a nice triple shot bow that he can use. So it can be like a Marcus Wolfheart character, but on a horse, and he throws multi-shot arrows to deal with more infantry-sized units rather than single entity monsters like Marcus Wolfheart does. So he fills in that one missing niche that I think the Empire has. Now, moving on to his start location, I don't think he will actually start in Ostland. I think he will actually start in Norsca. In fact, right in the middle of Norsca, with his starting settlement being the Greyling Moot. I think in his campaign, he'll also be given a very early confederation opportunity to confederate his home territory, very similar to Loki of Felheart and Rakarth have for the Dark Elves. So maybe within, I don't know, he has to kill 5,000 captives, and once he's killed those 5,000 captives, he can confederate Ostland as his starting province also. But I don't think he's going to have a dual start location similar to Elspeth. Now, I think that's all the legendary lords that we're likely going to be getting for the Empire, with the 3 additions that I've mentioned here. That already is going to take us up to 7 legendary lords. If we're going to get any more than that, I think they're going to be FLC characters, some minor characters. But unless we start getting character packs down the line because they've run out of units to add, I don't think we're going to be getting many more legendary lords than that. But I do think we're going to get at least 2 more DLCs. And now there's two more characters that I want to mention in this video. I've already mentioned both of them previously as part of the FLC units that we're going to be getting. The first one will be Skulltaker, which I think will be starting in the Bretonnian region, specifically the settlement of Montfort. I've mentioned this twice now. I've mentioned it in my FLC prediction video as well as my 2024 prediction video. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but I do think, yes, he will start in Montfort. He will start at war with the Dwarven faction just north of him at Carrick-Zuthlin. This will give him the opportunity to raise a minor settlement, getting a blood host army before going to take the capital at Baston. But Bretonnia is already a very small country and there's already multiple legendary lords in that area. There's 4 already, but there used to be 5 with Albric. So now that Albric has left, I think that now gives space for 1 more, and I think that will be Skulltaker. And now moving on to the final legendary lord that I think we'll be getting within this area, and that will be Gutrot Spume. Someone else that I've already mentioned in my FLC prediction video, but I'm going to change it slightly. I still think that he will be starting in Norsca, but now that I've added Valmir in there, I think I'm going to change his start location slightly and actually put him a little bit further north, which will be the settlement of the monolith of Katum. This will give him a starting enemy of Varg, and it gives him a lot more opportunities. I think he will still have 3 port regions within his starting settlement, so it will fit nicely into his Plague Fleet mechanic, which I think he'll most likely be getting, which I'm sure I'll make a speculation video on that at some point in the future. But this gives Gutrot a lot more opportunities. He can either go up north into the Chaos Waste, maybe fight Sigvald and Daniel, or he can start pushing south against Valmir into the Empire, meeting up with Festus, who will likely be a good ally for him. He can also deal with some of the Norscan factions, so he could maybe go to war against Throt and Wulfric, or you could ally up with them. You've got many choices with Chaos. You can either kill them or vassalize them. But I still think it would be a really good campaign for him. Putting him in Norsca, he should be in Norsca, just a little bit of a move to where I said in the FLC video to make room for Valmir. And that's it. I think the Old World is going to be completed. That completes Norsca, that completes Bretonnia, and that completes the Empire. And actually Kislev as well. I don't think we're going to be getting any more legendary lords into Kislev. Again, like Bretonnia, it's a very, very small country, and we've already got 4 legendary lords in that region, with another couple dotted around the outside, making it very intimidating for the country. So I don't think, if we're going to get any, maybe 1, if anything at all. Maybe we could have mentioned the Norse Dwarfs at some point, but apart from that, I don't think we're going to be getting anything in Kislev proper. But I think I'll leave the Norse Dwarfs for another video because I still need to do a lot more speculation on that. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Just a reminder, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow at 4 PM GMT. I will be doing a Bretonnian campaign, and it's very, very close on the votes. Like, I think at the moment of this recording, there's 30% votes for Rapunzel and 30% votes for Luan Leon Kerr, and then 20% votes for the other 2 legendary lords. Like, it's extremely close. But it's going to be between Luan Leon Kerr and Rapunzel, so if you haven't voted already, get onto my channel and start posting your votes there. And yes, I will be live streaming at 4 PM GMT tomorrow. But until then, guys, leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.